What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. For those of you stopping by for the first time, if you see something that you like here today, please don't forget to subscribe at some point. Those of you stopping by that have been here before, welcome back to TLTG Reviews, my friends. Glad you came see me. So today, I figured I'd compile a list of fragrances that if you're in a professional setting and you're dressing the part, you look the part, you might as well smell like you run the place as well. I got 7 fragrances that are going to make you smell like a boss. Stay tuned. So jumping right off into the first one, in my opinion, the best version of Bleu de Chanel. It's Bleu de Chanel Parfum. It's the most crisp, most polished version of it. You still get the citruses that everyone loves with Bleu de Chanel, but it's much warmer. It doesn't project as heavy. It's just the right amount of projection. Kind of keeps that aura within range, so you have a mild scent trail following you when you walk by. It's very polished, very crisp, very woody, and it smells just very put together. In a situation where you're wearing an Oxford all day, whether it be with a tie, without a tie, with a coat, or not, in a full suit, something like Bleu de Chanel Parfum is going to have you smelling like a boss. And the longevity on this thing, it's going to go all day. Not a projection monster, fantastic for professional setting. Next, we go from one that's not real strong on the projection to one that you kind of got to be careful with the sprays in a professional setting, but boy, this smells like a classy guy, to say the least. It's from Dior. It's Sauvage Parfum, the 2017 formula. This stuff is, without a shadow of a doubt, my favorite Vetiver heavy fragrance. This stuff smells great. Oh, man, it's been a little while since I've smelled it. Powerhouse too, guys. We're talking about beyond 12 hours in longevity. 3 or 4 sprays is a heavy projector. We're talking about beyond moderate heavy. We're talking heavy for hours and hours until it becomes moderate projection. And it smells well put together. This is the classiest version. I do have a decant of the 2012 and that smells fantastic as well. That kind of leans more barbershop than this one does. I find this one leans more Vetiver than barbershop, and it's crisp, clean, and soapy. It smells incredible, and I strongly advise you guys, try this one. It's expensive, don't get me wrong. You're gonna spend upwards of $120 and then some, but it's worth every penny because you don't need many sprays, and this stuff is elegance in a bottle. You definitely smell like a boss when you wear Eau Sauvage Parfum. Next is one that you may not be expecting. I did do a full review on this one a while back, and this is in the same vein of Tom Ford Gray Vetiver. It's a smoky, clean, refreshing Vetiver. It's from Bentley, the Beyond collection. It's Wild Vetiver. This is some really good stuff. As a lot of you know, that's back-to-back Vetiver heavy fragrances for me, and I'm not a real big fan of Vetiver unless they're kind of clean, crisp, refreshing, and just well put together. Dirty, earthy Vetivers I don't like. So if this was a dirty, earthy Vetiver with this smoky accord, this heavy incense note, I wouldn't like it at all, because dirty Vetivers tend to smell kind of like roach spray on my skin, and this absolutely does not smell like this. This is very clean, crisp, and refreshing, and that incense really hangs out and matures this one up a little bit while maintaining that elegance and freshness that a fresh Vetiver like this is known for. Not an all-day spray, but a decent performer, and definitely a well put together man. This is a boss type of scent, to say the very least. It's well put together, and more people should check it out. The prices are starting to come down. FragranceBuy.ca has them for a decent price in that $80 range. I would still wait a little bit longer, try to find a better deal, but it's way better than retail, because retail is more than double what they're going for at discounters right now. And if you want a good, clean, smoky Vetiver, Bentley Wild Vetiver from the Beyond collection, it's going to be the one. Next, this is actually my absolute favorite from the entire collection in the line. It's from Raja Parfums. It's from the Parfum Cologne collection. It's Scandal. This may be my favorite fougere I've ever smelled, and I have several, and this one is fantastic. Oh, man. Oak moss is very prominent in this one. Rosemary, it's very herbaceous, very fresh, spicy, very warming. This is a masculine powerful man right here, to say the very least. Scandal Parfum Cologne. Like I said, I even like this one better than Elysium, better than Danger, better than Vetiver, and better than Creation E, believe it or not. This is just for my taste. I enjoy fougères and barbershop style classic masculine fragrances, and this is a modern twist on a classic masculine fragrance. This is the man that runs the show at wherever you work is going to wear something like this. Well put together, great performance, fantastic quality, not cheap, but worth every penny in my opinion, and that's Scandal Parfum Cologne from Raja Parfums, my favorite fougère. Next, when I first got this one, it actually surprised me for how fresh it actually was. I did sample it back when I was at New York at Scent Explorer, and I was smelling it on my little ring flower all night long. It's extremely fresh for being an oud fragrance. It's a little floral, but it's very well put together, and it performs. It's from Kajal. It's Kajal Homme. This is another one worth every penny, guys. The quality's there for the build, the construction, the bottle, the box, everything about it, and the performance. This can be your signature scent year-round. Fantastic fragrance, very powerful for as fresh as it is. One that you may have to go easy on the sprays in the summer because it can get probably very, very cloying. I'm actually gonna be wearing this one later in the week. Such a gorgeous smell. This is one that I strongly advise sample. They have discovery sets. This is probably the most versatile fragrance offered by the house. This is going to be one of the more easy wears, and it's going to be perfect in a professional setting. You're absolutely going to smell like one of the managers, the owner, or at least the owner's right-hand man if you're wearing something like Kajal Homme. And that's just the God's honest truth, because this just flat out smells expensive. Once again, that's Kajal Homme from Kajal Perfumes. Next, you know I can't have a video like this without my absolute favorite fragrance to wear with a suit and tie and for special events. You want to smell like a boss? You need to get yourself a bottle of Zaharoff Signature Pour Homme. This stuff is fantastic. It's a love letter to the old style fragrances, the 80s, late 70s, with a much more modern twist with things like cardamom, Florentine iris. It's very myrrh heavy and resinous. The frankincense is pretty strong in this one. It's got a warmth and a spice to it. Very, very classy and elegant fragrance that can be worn year round. It changes with the times throughout the year. In the summer, when your skin's hot and sweaty and heating up, it's going to smell different than it will in the cold when you're bundling up. Strong enough to go any season, yet not too strong that it can go in the hottest of weathers. Long lasting, not the heaviest projector, but far from a skin scent. You smell like the man when you're wearing Zaharoff Signature Pour Homme. And last but most certainly not least is a newcomer to the collection. It was a long-awaited release from a Kickstarter from fellow YouTuber, Mr. Smelly, Dan Naughton. A lot of you know who that is. It's from Naughton and Wilson. It's Gravitas Pour Homme. Another one that's a love letter to the old style powerhouse fougère fragrances. Very lavender heavy, very creamy. Gives off that Italian cologne kind of vibe to it. You get a little bit of orange citrus up top, and then that lavender really gets real creamy, real fast. A little bit of tonka bean. It's a fantastic fragrance to say the least. Not as strong of a performer as you would expect from a projection standpoint for it being an extrait de parfum. It's kind of similar to Bleu de Chanel in the aura you'll have. 7, 8, maybe 9-ish hour fragrance, you know, gonna get you through a work day and keep just in that right range to give you a good scent trail. So you're not filling a room in the middle of a meeting, you're not bothering anybody, but when you walk by, you're gonna smell very well put together. Gravitas Pour Homme from Naughton and Wilson. Well, that's my 7, guys. Strongly advise you sample all of these. A lot of these, it's very easy to get a sample. Some a little bit more challenging, some are free, some cost a few dollars, but they're all worth trying. If you're looking for that right scent, that boss level, just well put together scent for when you're dressed to the nines and you really need a fragrance to complement it, these 7 are absolutely worth a look in my opinion. And until next time, do me a real quick favor, go ahead and like, comment, subscribe. I do appreciate all the feedback. I love hearing from you guys. How many of these fragrances have you already tried? Do you already have? Do you love them? Do you hate them? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Let me know down in the comments. And until next time, I will say, if you get your hands on any of the 7 that we're discussing in this video today, you give them a spray now, pretty confident you'll thank me later. Have a good one, guys.
Thank you.